Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to replace the water level indicator probe and the replacement probe kits. In the kit you will find an instruction sheet that shows you the 9 different pieces that come in the kit, and it will give you step-by-step instructions as to how to go through doing it or replacing the probe for an English and a metric water level indicator. Also included in the kit you'll find these 9 pieces. Starting at the base, you'll have the strain relief, which slides into the probe cap, and then you'll have the large grommet that will slide over the wire, a copper swage that will help ground the red wire. The cap will then reverse thread into the probe body. On the other end of it, you'll have a small grommet that slides over the wire, the poly insulator, and then you'll have a washer that slides onto the probe tips, which will also thread into the poly insulator. Now, as the instructions indicate, with the metric and the standard wires, the procedures are slightly different. This is what it will look like when it's complete. And today we're going to be demonstrating on a standard replacement wire. Now the first step, you're going to need to measure, which you'll need a ruler to do so. You'll also need some cutters to cut the wire strippers, a 5/16 wrench, something to crimp the copper swage with, a pair of vice grips to hold the body, and I'm also going to be using a different type of wire stripper and cutter today. Now what you want to do with the standard wires, find the quadruple zero mark, and you want to measure towards the remainder, the excess of the wire. You're going to measure out 3.5 centimeters, and you're going to want to cut the excess from there because you don't need that. That's trash. Then you want to measure in from the quadruple zero 1/4 foot. Now that's going to put you halfway between, it's actually upside down, it's going to put you halfway in between the 2 and the 3 on the wire. So from this spot, you want to take your strippers, your wire strippers, and you want to take the black coating off, exposing the red and the white wires. And then you can throw the black jacket away because you don't need that anymore. Now you have your red and your white wires exposed. What you want to do from here is you want to slide the black strain relief over the 2 wires down onto the other wires. You want to put the bottom of the probe on, the threads facing outward. And slide the strain relief into the bottom of the probe body so they fit snugly. Then take your thick grommet, slide that over the 2 wires and then onto the black jacket. When it gets down here, it's going to be tight. Just work with it and pull it down about an inch or so, give you some room to work. Take the red wire inside. This is your ground. You're not going to need this anymore. Take the cutters, cut it about a 1/2 inch up. You're not going to need the red wire that you cut off. Take the wire strippers and you're going to strip this wire down to about an eighth of an inch above the end of the black jacket. Now you have part of the wire exposed now. Fold that down over the top of the black wire so it looks like that. Then take the copper swage, put that over the white wire, and you're going to slide this down over the red wire that's exposed to help ground that. Now when you do that, you want to put it down so that the red wire is flush with the top of the swage, and you want to take your crimpers and you want to smash the copper swage. Now when you do this, you don't want to you don't want to crimp it so hard because the red wire sometimes will penetrate the white wire and then you'll short it out. So when you do this, do it gently. Ensure that the red wire is opposite the white. Now once you put this groove in it, then you want to smash it again so that the two edges of the grooves meet. And you'll end up with something that looks like this. Now slide the large rubber bushing down. Then you slide the bottom of the probe up so that it looks like this. Then you're going to take your probe body, and if you look inside the probe body, one side will be tapered and the other will not. Also, the side that is not will have a larger opening inside than the other end. You want to slide the non-tapered end over the white wire so that the tapered end faces outward. Sometimes you have to twist it on. Take your vice grips and hold the body tightly so it doesn't mark it up. Take your 5/16 wrench. Thread it all the way until you don't see the threads. It'll stop eventually. And that's what it will look like. Now, you'll have part of the white wire exposed. You're going to slide the small grommet through the white wire, or over the white wire, down inside the probe body. This will help keep it from making contact with the body. Then take your wire strippers, and you want to strip down as far to the body as you can with the wire strippers. These strippers will only allow me to go about 1 inch from the body, which will be fine. Take the white jacket off of the wire, exposing it. Place the poly tip over the exposed wire. And begin to thread that in to the body. This will be really tight, so until it meets the probe body and is flush. Now take your cutters and cut the exposed wire flush with the top of the poly tip. So you can't feel them. Now, take the probe tip and the washer, put the washer over the probe tip until it slides all the way down, and begin to thread it into the poly tip. Now when you do this, it's fine to keep the wire to the side, and begin to thread it slowly because you want to ensure that it's straight. Now once it's started, you can use an adjustable wrench or anything to hold the tip with to thread it in. We're going to be using a flattened attachment with a drill, and go slow to make sure it goes on straight. And you're going to go until the washer begins to bulge out of the bottom of the tip a little bit, like that. And then that completes the probe attachment. Now what you want to do to check it on the standards is you're going to lay it flat and take your ruler, and you're going to find the mark at 0001. Put that at your 0 on the ruler, and then you're going to stretch it, and at the 12-inch line at the foot mark should be the beginning of the poly tip. That's how you ensure that everything is lined up on the wire and that you'll get accurate readings with the water level indicator.